Hi, all you hungry people out there. Welcome to Hungry Cat Daily with Nick and Lance, the podcast where we'll be recapping every Garfield comic from A to Z. I'm Nick Ramirez, and I'm joined today with my co-host, Lance Skillstrap. How you doing, Lance?
Doing all right. Shall we dive in?
Okay, let's recap.
All right. We're looking at Wednesday, July 5th, 1978, and I will start. We have Garfield in a very strange position. He is in a kind of, would you call that a downward dog, or I guess in this case, downward cat? I don't know.
Very good.
I don't I don't even know if that's really what downward dog is, but he's kind of like butt in the air, head towards the ground. He is using his hind legs, it looks like, to scratch his back, which, I mean, my cat's flexible, but I don't think he could do this.
It's almost like a headstand or a handstand. Right.
Yeah, I guess his tail is kind of holding him up. His back is saying itch. And his
or do you think it's thinking itch?
Yeah. And then his claws are making the noise scratch, scratch. We've got a green background, almost like a cream lime green background, and then a deep red, almost, I don't know if you'd call that Merlot, but like a wine red ground. That's about it.
Yeah, I would say candy apple red.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And then the background is like KitchenAid mixer green. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I mean, if you have that color KitchenAid mixer.
Okay, so let's move on to panel 2. So Garfield's back is still saying itch, and he's still, his claws are making the scratching noises, but now it's even more scratching, and there's exclamation points. Now his face, his grin is like all contorted in an odd way. He's baring his claws, his fangs, his teeth, even.
Yeah, his teeth are showing.
Is that a Garfirst?
No, we talked about his teeth in another one. He was picking his teeth with a toothpick.
Right. And we'll get to Garfirst later.
If we're lucky.
His butt is on the ground. He's not up in the air anymore. And his jowls are just like draped on the ground. His eyes are closed. Yeah, that's about it. Basically, he's just scratching more intensely. Moving on to panel 3.
Panel 3, Garfield his head is leaned back. His mouth is wide open. He's waving his arms like a Peanuts character. Speaking of which, he's saying arg. Saying, not thinking. He is saying arg with an exclamation point.
That might be a Garfirst, but we'll get to that later.
Jumping ahead. And he's next to John, who's not wearing any shoes or socks. He's barefoot, but wearing long black trousers and a blue polo, I guess. And he's sitting in a purple chair reading a newspaper, and the noise that Garfield has made has really scared him, and he's shooken up. He's rattling the paper, and his eyes are bugged out.
Wow. And that is it.
And that's the end of the comic. There's not like a note from Jim Davis about why he thinks this is funny. There's not an additional panel where something else happens or someone says something witty.
I guess maybe he took the week off for the 4th of July.
And he was rushed to finish, like to do one. So he had to do 2.
Well, so he probably draws the cartoons the day before. So he took the 4th of July off and. Well,
and someone at the newspaper wrote one?
Okay, well, let's move on to Garfirsts.
Well,
So I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time Garfield has said anything.
Yeah, out loud with a speaking bubble.
And it's the first time his back has said anything for sure.
Right. Yeah. Do you think that's a flea? It's just an itch.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to say that there's an itch, which I don't think that's necessary. I think we understand Garfield scratching. It's because there's an itch. I guess it's like an itch he can't reach.
He can't
is the
reach.
Problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like on his back, which he hasn't used his mouth because that's what my cat does. My cat he gets those itches with his mouth.
Yeah.
My only guess is that this is a reference to Peanuts.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I feel
this isn't Garfirst territory.
No, you're right. You're right.
Is this the first time we've seen John's feet, by the way?
Oh, bare feet?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I haven't.
It's possible.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the ratings. Yeah. So you were saying.
Yeah, the only way that this makes sense as a comic is if this is a specific reference to Peanuts. And I'm only saying it because of the way he's like moving his arms up and down, but I also think that's just a comic thing to do. Arg is also a comic thing to do, although Charlie Brown says it a lot.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But I think it's just not a joke, and I don't think it's funny, and I'm going to give it a quarter tray of lasagna just because it's not racist.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's only slightly better than yesterday's. I'll give it a quarter tray of lasagna as well. And let's move on to the rankings.
All right. I mean, I guess second to last.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, this one sucks. Like,
yeah, it's really bad. Yeah, so lazy.
There's nothing going on, and it's really weird that that John's not wearing shoes. Like, I don't think we covered how weird that is. Like, is that? I don't always wear shoes when I'm hanging around my house, of course, but if there were somebody drawing me, I would wear shoes.
Well, maybe he doesn't wear shoes on the carpet. Maybe it's a carpet thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for listening or watching the show, everybody. You can rate, review, and subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts or wherever podcasts are found, or on YouTube, where we also are found. Lance and I want to hear from you. Send us your Garfield memories and drawings to hungrycatdaily@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at hungrycatdaily, or go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/hungrycatdaily. Lance, I don't think there's anything else to say except stay hungry.
Yep. Until next time, see you in the funny papers.